Right then, good afternoon everyone. Welcome in to the US session. Might be a pretty good one today, to be honest. Someone just give us a quick mic check in the chat if you can, please, after last week's audio disaster. Just give us a quick chat if everything's okay on the mic and loudness is okay for you guys. Seems okay at my end, so I'll crack on. Right, so few nice levels. Just looking at what I call the multiverse chart at the moment, guys. Watching ETH, Bitcoin, Sol, and Big Dog Doge. So just wanted to keep this open for a second because you've got some pretty immediate levels that we can see on ETH and BTC. So before we dive into detail, some of the data, open interest, volume, and the order flow that we always like to have a look at. Yeah, pretty big levels on ETH at 3.5k. We're already catching some bid here, to be honest, on ETH. Bitcoin's had a little bit, but I'm not quite convinced yet. So we will go through the order flow and everything and my reasoning why. Yeah, 65-ish K. Come down. Let's grab some of these order blocks down here for me. Those are my initial thoughts, to be honest. So what we'll do is we'll dive in. Couple of altcoins I've been looking at today as well, so we'll jump into those and have a look as usual. If you guys have got any others that you need us to have a look at, just drop us in the chat. All right, so yeah, couple of nice charts out there, but not too much. And as you can see from the watch list here, there is a little bit of a real mixed bag, to be honest, on the market today. Real mixed bag, to be honest. So yeah, pick and choose, as I always say. Pick your fights, to be honest, when it's a little bit like this. But yeah, ETH grabbing that bid, not quite convinced. Solana is chopping and has been in this kind of zone for a while, and Bitcoin actually hasn't. If you zoom out, Bitcoin really hasn't moved in 2 days. So I wouldn't be so quick to commit anything right here, right now, especially when you've got that kind of price action. You know, when you haven't moved for 2 days, you kind of want a deviation up or below. Grab that liquidity and move from there. All right, guys. So just something to think about. If it's your first time in and you are new to the console, grab a link from below. Get yourself a free trial. Plenty of videos on my channel as well, and a few other guys in the socials have got a few bits to share also. So jump in, grab yourself a free trial. New Academy course is actually live now for past 24-48 hours. So if you've not seen that, go grab a link and check the features on this. A lot of work's gone into that from the team and myself. It's a very, very in-depth course as well, to be honest. A lot of detail in this. Just quick, cheeky, sneaky peek here. Yeah, really in depth. Nothing we've ever gone. I don't think we've ever gone to this deep on anything before, especially some of the free videos and stuff. Really good course if you're interested in that. Sneak peek of the content. Obviously, we go through the alert systems. We go through some of the key order data that we, if you're new to trading, something that you should be looking at from the get-go, to be honest. We go through the templates in a lot more detail as well than has ever done before on the videos, and we give trade examples. Absolutely really good risk reward trade examples there as well. So go and have a look, see if it's something you're interested in. As I say, a lot of work from the team and myself gone into that. Really pleased with it, to be honest. So yeah, jump in and have a look. Right, let's dive into some big boy Bitcoin then. Little float up at the minute. Let's go to the dual tab and we'll start as we always do with Bitcoin. Okay, let's just go to the aggregated. So let's go to a 15-minute basis here right now. So what we can see at the minute, let's start with Bitcoin, then we will have a look at ETH. ETH's kind of got that sideways grinding price action, similar to what Bitcoin did after its ETF approval. Seems like a million years ago now. But it was only back in January, or was it February? Okay, so same kind of grinding price action. So I think with slight dominance rise from BTC, ETH is still going to follow BTC to a certain extent, okay, until you start getting some big volume order flows in on ETH. All right, guys. So yeah, we do have a bid here on Bitcoin, but it's all a little bit lower, okay? Even if you're just looking at the ratios, you can see here, there's no spot bid at all, to be honest. And the bigger ratios are actually prepared to sell into BTC if we get a slight rise today. I'm not even convinced we can get that far, to be honest. Obviously, happy to be wrong. If you've got risk on from a lot lower, this is all, you know, still looking very, very constructive, but lower time frame, I would really appreciate the market gods just giving us a little tickle lower, just to confirm some areas. Really, that's all I would look for in a price auction. Come down, confirm some areas, catch that bid, build this depth. You know, you kind of like at 450, 500 million aggregated depth. Okay, so that's between all the exchanges. But historically now we hit over $1 billion in this. Okay, so looking okay, looking constructive, but I just don't think the full recipe is there yet, okay, for this to get full continuation out of this higher time frame trend and continue the range past all-time highs yet. Just my personal thoughts. If we do float up, we've certainly got, as we can see from spot, okay, we've just, if you're interested in levels, if you're a bit of a levels nerd like myself, you've got the weekly open that is just pinning price right here, okay? And that's the value area high of our higher time frame range. And that is getting defended by these offers just above as well on spot, okay? So, yeah, it's going to, if we float price right up from here right now, I'm not going to be convinced. I think it will just volley back down in the coming few days or week or so, to be honest. As I said, I don't think price action is ready to blast up from here just yet, okay? So looking at other exchanges, I'm not going to flick through them all because you just need to look at the ratios here, okay? And there's no major order blocks on many spot exchanges until we do visit down here in that 65k zone, all right? So Bitfinex have actually got nothing at all. They're not fussed. They just don't want to play the game here. Bitstamp, a little bit of a messy chart, but they've got orders, or they had orders down in that 66k level. Coinbase Pro, 65 again. It doesn't mean you're going to get down there in one clip, but it's certainly, you know, like we always say, it's an area of interest. I'm not too bothered for playing the game right here, right now. Risk on from a lot lower, yet valid, you're still very safe. But do you really want to play the game in here and get chopped up with everybody else? No, thank you. You know, I'll wait here, or I'll wait here to hedge a position. Okay, so yeah, nice hedge positions anyway. Nice order flow from back here, group spots. So that was a nice area to hedge a little bit of a short position, if anybody got that. So group spot being Binance, Bitstamp, and Coinbase Pro all did a little bit of selling into there. Okay, so a nice area to hedge a position. Another thing I'm looking at, and let's just go through the other exchanges. So yeah, nothing from Qcoin basically. Kraken are happy if this comes down a little bit lower. Some spot buys have been going on in this small area, but again, you can just see the bigger order blocks a little bit lower. You know, and if we go down and visit that 65k zone, and I say if we do, then these guys, they might meet, you know, they might move their orders up. They might move these orders up to meet price. Okay. But yeah, we had a quick look at perps at the beginning, but I do like perps here as well. I like the fact that these guys are bid. That's always good to see for higher time frame trend continuation. So you want this to continue. But as I say, I would just like to come and confirm this area. That would be really, really good for existing risk from lower. I think really, really good. Okay, so let's have a quick look at volume. So yeah, volumes obviously come up in this smaller time frame area. Okay, my only problem is I don't think the full recipe is quite here yet. I don't like the way the open interest lingers at the highs when we're not really getting a nice push out of this lower time frame zone. I kind of prefer to see those bullish divergences into the lows like we seem to want to be getting, but I like to see that open interest linger at the lows as everyone gets bearish into those lows. People are fearful of opening new contracts in the market. and the bigger players just are happy to come here. They'll catch a bid, the volume will come up, and then the more organic move for me personally is always when that open interest flirts up with volume, okay? But, you know, it's almost kind of like the bidders come in, okay? So that's always priority. You've got a market or a limit bid. That's come in, they've got the fill, and then you start to get a little bit more flow from volume, and the open interest organically follows the volume as contracts open, all right? Just not quite seeing that here. That's a 15-minute basis. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, okay, I will, even though it's a little bit of a slower look back on this volume, I will count these areas. You got a group spot bid here on BTC, but you've still got a bit of wick space. When we go look at ETH in a second, you've got even more wick space on ETH, to be honest. What I would still like to see is retail traders really just get a little bit saucy here, don't they, and try and get long here. Maybe they get rewarded a bit and we do float up, but I'd prefer to see price action come down, especially when open interest's up here, yeah? You know, just looking at 1 hour basis, I'd like to see price action come down, confirm 65, that'd be really, really nice. But you want to see this volume just kind of hold at the very least, okay? Or if you can on those lower time frames, even half an hour, 15-minute, get some bullish divergences as we come down, okay? So price action down, but you don't want the bigger guys selling. Get the retail guys chasing price down, okay? Get them chasing price down as usual. And then we'll see what we get. Just not quite convinced here, really. Right, so another thing to point out is liquidity has also been resting quite high, okay? So don't like to see that for those kind of bigger breakout moves, really. You want to see the liquidity in the order books come down, as again, people are kind of fearful. They don't want to open contracts. And then it's easier to float price up on lower volume, okay? At the minute, you've got a lot of people coming in and coming out of contracts, especially in the perps market. You can see funding, you know, was flicking from pretty neutral at the beginning of the week, and it's just on the rise slightly now. So funding's not bad here. It's not bad at all. 0.01 on Bybit, similar on Binance. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Open interest 1 hour basis in this RSI metric, right diddle in the middle. So if that could come down a little bit lower as well, like we got on this instance here, that would be really good. Trading in public. Welcome in. What are the main alerts you use for alts BTC? Alts, do you mean alt BTC trades, as in Sol BTC, ETH BTC, or do you mean just alts in general and then BTC in general? Because there's two different. I can kind of go over both, really. All these alerts are mainly, if you ever see my alerts in here, I've not created any of these. These are all created by the team at TRDR, and I might have just tweaked it a little bit depending on how the market is running or my own preference. All right, so to cover this real quickly, BTC Diamond, okay, you can grab that from the socials, or I can share it. I might be able to share the link in here actually. And then some people often see this one that I've got, okay, and it's called BTC Diamond CB Pro. It's not a true diamond. I've just added Coinbase Pro to that one as well, Spot. I like the influence that Coinbase Pro is getting in. I've always had the Coinbase Pro one. I like that their order books have been quite good over the last year or so. Okay, so BTC Diamond, CB, and the CB Pro version. Separately, yeah, separately. Okay, so yeah, basically you want the BTC Diamond. Okay, that is your best one, basically. All right, Group Spot. Okay, so this is Group Spot, and this will obviously just tell you when the spot markets are getting involved. At the minute, I've got Bitstamp, Coinbase Pro, and Binance on there. Again, I've not created this. These are all in the socials from the team. The Group Spot guys can often be a little bit early. I won't go over the intricacies of every alert, okay? But yeah, those guys can always be a little bit early. You want to wait for a diamond, really, and if you're getting a diamond in big demand with all the nice recipe of volume divergences and all the rest, go check the Academy. Thank you. Then you can get really, really good results from this. And this is the same from ETH as well. So ETH Diamond, okay, and ETH Group Spot. Little tip, if you get big liquidations around the time of a BTC diamond, or big liquidations from ETH at the time of an ETH diamond, more often than not, these two will work in conjunction with each other, won't they? That can be a mega bonus. People trade liquidations runs all the time anyway, don't they? But we've got the extra cherry on the cake of seeing there's actual demand there. Okay, so go grab these and get them in your system. For altcoins, the Alt Diamond Pro is really good. Again, that's one from the socials that the team have created. But I do like spot double bands as well. So if you get spot double bands, okay, so that's a 1 to 2.5 and a 2.5 to 5 ratio, so really good bid depth. Okay, if you can get that with a nice top level on it as well, that's really good. All right, I don't have liquidation alerts on alts because they all vary in the type of volume they produce, don't they? You could probably add a liquidation alert for some of the bigger coins, but they're going to do similar things to BTC and ETH, aren't they, anyway? If you're getting big liquidations on ETH, big liquidations on BTC, you know, Sol, Link, AVAX, the rest are probably getting liquidations as well, and then just go and have a look for some bid. So, hope that makes it clear. Yeah, so BTC Diamond is a must. I do like the liquidations. Group Spot tells you that spot are bidding from 3 confluent exchanges. Same on ETH. And then Alt Diamond Top Level Pro, okay, because that is telling you there's bid, but also there's a large top level, okay? So a large entity resting limit order block wanting to bid or offer price. And spot alt double bands, okay? For extra confluence as well, that's always quite a nice one. BTC alt double bands, okay? So if you're seeing that, say, altcoin spot a bid, all right, just go and check the BTC pair as well. Old school way of looking at it. But you should be aware of what the alt BTC chart is doing as well. If the alt BTC chart is very strong or very weak, it can give you very good confluence as well. All right, hope that helps. Drop any more questions if you've got them. Yeah, BTC floating up. What I'd be interested to see here on all BTC pairs. No, so the BTC Diamond CB Pro, it's just called that because it's pretty much the same as what the guys created, but I've just added in. So you've got, basically, these are your markets, yeah? Coinbase Pro, BTC USD, Binance BTC USDT, Binance BTC USDT also. Okay, so these are some of, I'm not going to say all, some of the biggest markets that we have, giving us the biggest volume. We don't have all depth, okay, of Bybit and the like. They don't share all their depth of data, so not sure why. So basically what you are looking for on this, okay, is a group alert, all right? So I want all of these markets to hit the same conditions before the alert triggers, all right? If it doesn't, the alert won't go. So that's why it's absolute matrix red pill data shit that we've got going on in here, to be honest. There's no other platform that will give you this sort of stuff. So if you are confident in your trading anyway and need a little bit of extra edge, you know, maybe you're good with classic TA and wave patterns and all the rest of it, and you want a little bit of edge in those areas, okay? So you have a level in mind. Maybe you're into even fib levels, you know, Mother's Milk's in, you know, even if you're just into trading fib levels or pivots, like weekly pivots, monthly pivots, you know, I would never suggest, or a wave pattern, you know, or a GAN fan or crab pattern, I don't know, you give me a pattern, but anything, yeah. So they're price patterns, aren't they, you know? Okay, so it's always really nice to have those levels in mind. You know, we all love the classic tier. You know, I've got daily NPOC and range P. You know, I like to have these levels in mind. But then to have that extra confluence and how would you call it, confidence really of seeing there is bid at that level. It's just it's game changing, absolutely game changer. I don't know how anyone can trade without this sort of data, to be honest. I really don't. So yeah. Yeah, and likewise, if you're saying spot, likewise on the group spot, okay, so the group spot alert will not trigger because it's grouped unless all those markets trigger the same conditions at the same time, okay? So if I added, say, I've been tempted to do it, but I haven't done it yet because the Qcoin chart has been a little bit dead. If I see it getting lively again, I'll add it. But if I was to add Qcoin BTC USD in here, or is it Qcoin USDT? USDT, isn't it? Tether. Then this alert would now say, right, I can't trigger this alert and tell Nick that I've got a group spot in this zone, and unless all these markets are doing the same thing. Okay, so they're all at a 60 ratio from the OBD within 1 to 2.5. If that happens, I'll get an alert, and that's the beauty of it. Really good stuff. So yeah, hope that helps a little bit as we go through the data. Feel free to drop any more questions. Don't mind, while we look at things, I don't mind jumping into stuff like this in the absolute slightest. While we are looking at volume open interest, I'll go look at ETH in a second. Yeah, please do just drop questions if you need me to answer anything. We can certainly divert and have a look at stuff. Yeah, BTC just coming up to that weekly open. Okay, so what I would be interested to see is what I would look for here. If you're going to get some continuation up into this kind of 70k area, I say if, I would watch for the usual. Okay, so if perps, say we're on perps USDT now, right? If perps starts to wick a little bit higher, a few $100 higher than the spot market does here, okay, in the next coming hours, I would certainly feel a bit more confident that we're maybe going to come down and meet some of those 65k levels. All right, but maybe the market bid just pushes us up here. We'll have to keep an eye on things. Let's just quickly go and have a look at the order blocks. Let me go to spot for a second. I think perhaps there's quite a bit of market making going on, so there's a few order blocks moving. Yeah, so you've got quite a few order blocks here, as we can see on the OBC, which is order book changes. Yeah, offers are pretty stacked right up into 70.5. Okay, so that's an area to watch. And then beyond that, you've got a real gap of liquidity at past 70.7. Okay, so that I mean, it looks quite a distance away, to be honest. I'm not sure if we can get there in one clip, but we'll see today. As I say, me wanting lower here doesn't mean I'm bearish, okay? I think if you've got risk on from the higher time frame range lows, I think everything looks great and really good. We're just talking lower time frame. But yeah, might be worth watching some of these zones. And you can see just to the downside here, and this is obviously just looking at Binance Spot, it's really inactive. It's really inactive until you get down into the low 66s, 65 level. And then we've got quite a few liquidity gaps, okay, down here. If you're unfamiliar with this, go watch the OBC video on my channel. But these areas can really create wick space. It's basically an area where there's no resting limit bids, okay? So it's just absolute lack of activity in those zones. Now, yes, market bid can come into these zones and just start bidding in. But if it doesn't, these kind of zones is where you get your wick space. So we've really not got a lot here if price does start to rotate down. That's why I kind of like that 65k zone for the next 12-24 hours, if we can get it, okay? But yeah, right, let's go and have a look. Let's go look at Vitalik's coin and see what it's doing, because it did catch some bid today. It has had some bid. I'm just not convinced. All right. Now that's because I can see this order block down here. This is your largest order block down here, and I don't know if we're going to come down here all in one clip. And it has to be said, if you just look at this chart as it is, the order flow has been brilliant. I mean, this is a work of art, isn't it? How the fuck do you trade if you haven't got order flow like this? So offers at the top. Okay, so if you're long from a lot lower, from that, we'll call it a breakout, won't we? From the other week, pre-ETF, it was a breakout, wasn't it? From a higher time frame range. Offers at the top, really, really good risk reward if you were trying to hedge a position down. Okay, so aggregated supplies, we can see down here, if you're familiar with this template of mine, into demand. Okay, so we're coming into demand. Not the greatest I've seen on ETH, 250, 300 aggregated book depth. Okay, I'd like to see double that. ETH's looking very similar to Bitcoin. I'd like to see double that, really. Something of note, while I remember, we are coming towards month end, obviously. So you could say, if you're a scalper, this has been really nice price action, hasn't it? If you're a bit more of a relaxed day trader / swing trader, which is my preferred style, then this is all quite chilled and constructive price action. If you're a scalper, I guess you could say there's been a bit of volatility, and you've had some nice plays on ETH, really, really nice plays. So these red overlays, I have just got them slightly transparent, are actually group spots. So this was an ETH diamond, okay, and then you were just hitting a load of ETH group spot, okay. So a couple of markets selling into ETH here, had one there as well, down into bid. I actually think these were ETH diamonds, they were anyway, because the perps market, let me just reset that, is quite ready for ETH, but I'm not. If you watched the Discord, I'll cover this quickly. If you watched the Discord on Tuesday, we were watching this area here, and basically what I said I'd like to do is, because we didn't have spot bid there, I thought these guys here were getting a little bit too frisky and trying to get in the market a little bit too early, to be honest. So we were saying, basically, between myself and DK at TRDR, I was basically, well, I want to go and take this. If these guys here on perps, and I always kind of think this on perps, you know, it's why I do quite like perps levels, especially on Bitcoin. If these guys want a bid, go and fill them then. Yeah? Go and fill them and make them work for the money. Okay, that's what I always say on perps. Make them work for the money. If they want a bid down here, make them work for the money, all right? Similar sort of thing now, but what's interesting on ETH is you've got almost triple band bid, okay, on perps. That's really, really good. So I do expect some push up at some point, but, you know, confluence of spot, do we have to bring it down a little bit? And what I would say is that I think the volume, and this might sound pretty obvious, is going to look the same on ETH. It's just, I think the open interest is a little bit more chilled out on ETH, actually. Let me go to a 1 hour basis. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. No, it's not. Yeah, I just don't think we've got the full recipe here yet. So even if we rise up, ideally and technically, I'd still prefer a little bit of a rotation down before we move up. Yeah, ETH is in this kind of range now, isn't it? From its previous area, and yeah, it's not an easy trick. I mean, this is my style. You know, you get long from these lows, which are your range lows, and these are areas to now manage that trade. You know, are you hitting ultimate harsh supply, and you want to take more than a little bit of profit up here, or are you looking for some sort of confirmations as we keep moving up? You know, trend, range, trend. That's the way I'm inclined to be at the minute on Bitcoin and on ETH. I'm looking for confirmations that we're going to continue up at some point. Is it from right here? I'm just not quite convinced yet, and this is the reason why. For me personally, is the open interest. If I didn't have any trade on right now, I wouldn't be chasing this unless you're in the frame of mind for a real cheeky scalp. A couple of guys obviously in the socials were saying earlier it's good scalping environment. I agree. You've got some coins moving really, really well. So keep it that way and just be happy with those, you know, those bits and percentages that you achieve in the market. Okay, but yeah, some nice obvious areas a little bit lower on ETH if we can get it as well. Let's go and just have a look at where and you can see, I mean, we're coming down to these zones, daily NPOC there on ETH, and we're getting a bid. We are getting a bid. I just don't like to leave this kind of untapped wick space down here. So to just rotate down a little bit would be favoured, to be honest. And again, just from this chart as well, I can share this if anyone wants it. It's just my exchange overview chart. So open interest looking a little bit better on ETH, but funding elevated, and the demand, aggregated demand, is not the best. Okay, so you know you need to see it like this. So you're coming down into the previous range lows. You want the bid, all right. You want the bid, and you want that open interest absolutely nuked, absolutely flat. You know, it sounds obvious in hindsight, doesn't it? It's a hindsight area, this, but we, you know, if you were on the lives or the Discord lives, when ETH was in this area, we were watching the ETH BTC bid. It was really good. We were saying that the USDT bid is really good. We had aggregated depth, and you can see here, because the open interest is absolutely nuked, people were just so fearful of opening contracts in perps. You know, absolute lack of interest. So there's no wonder you then get these absolute volleys up into then ETF approval volatility. Okay, something to keep an eye on. All right. So yeah, ETH, preferably similar situation to Bitcoin, to be honest. I would like to bring it down a little bit. Let's just go and quickly, yeah, so very similar. Let's just quickly go and have a look on a 4-hour basis where BTC is. So yeah, nice kind of view this. I do like this on a higher time frame, this exchange overview chart. You can see the demand, you can see confluence of demand, confluence of nuked open interest. We're obviously just kind of tickling this middle of the range point here. Let me just zoom into that for you guys. If I full screen this, will you guys, I think you'll still be able to see it, won't you? I think it's Discord. I think it's Discord when you go full screen and you guys can't see it. So yeah, basically quite a nice zone. If you're into ranges, you're actually just tackling this POC here. Okay, so really old POC. And like I've said before, you kind of don't even need to know it's a POC, because if you just look left, you can see previous price action, okay, acting as support. Posted a chart the other day, and I might not get it, but my preferred scenario would just be to wick this area, go grab the liquidity, go and find those order blocks, come back onto trend, and then move up from there. I think that'd be absolutely brilliant. And more often than not, stuff like Bitcoin, ETH, the bigger assets, they do need to go and grab all the liquidity they can anyway. So still a favoured move, even if we just push up a little bit here. Yeah, let's see what we get. Right, let me come out full screen there, and we'll just have a look at the order flow again on ETH before we dive into some possible altcoin setups and the like. And go out to 15-minute basis. Yeah, not sure about this move, to be honest. We'll see. The way I would play this is basically you want, again, you want some kind of deviation, don't you? Again, you know, price action, this is your zone, isn't it? You know, you could call that a lower time frame range. Do I really want to pull a fixed range on that? I don't really, but I will. There you go. Oh, not a bad draw from the old crab, what I would call crab yellow box. That's your range basically, isn't it? Okay. So if you, what day are we on? Thursday. Busy week. If we pop out the top of this range here, okay, and you find some offers, and again, just look for if perp starts to wick onto this zone, look for a possible rotation back down again. That's certainly what I'll be looking for in this kind of lower time frame range, to be honest. And again, if you're scalping this, pretty good, but really you've not moved in 2 days. All right, so don't chase green candles. That is all I would say on this move up. Let's have a look. Any spot offers? No, not really. we'll see what we get. I mean, certainly no one's really piling in with offers. Let me see what Coinbase Pro got a little bit. I think it was Gemini. The twins are doing a bit of selling there. I don't think they've got the minerals to move the market too much. But more often than not, I do have to say, they tend to be on the right side of the market when it does come to it. Let me just go see what Deribit are doing. Deribit charts used to be brilliant. No real edge there. I used to get quite a bit of edge from the Deribit perps as options traders were hedging positions and the like. But yeah, no real edge from them there. So yeah, we'll see what we get. Right, do I need to cover anything else? So we looked at volume, we looked at open interest. Don't really like the look of the open interest right here, right now. Liquidity is quite high, so there's quite a few contracts vying for positions in the market. If we move up, look for a wick over these kind of highs, and then maybe a rotation down. But if you are looking to get a bit more risk on, I would just be patient and wait for a little bit lower if you can get it. All right. Obviously, few political things going on in the crypto market as well, isn't there? Obviously, Trump is trying to get the crypto vote. Biden is hiring BitBoy, dare I say it? That might be bullshit, that, to be honest, but I've heard he's hiring some crypto people to, God, a little bit late, to be honest, isn't it, to get, God, I don't know, some sort of panel or something. Needs to go back to sleep, doesn't he? And RFK is buying shit stocks with Wall Street bets, so interesting. RFK is actually on Speaking in Consensus today as well, I believe. So that'll be interesting to see if he comes out with anything to try and. I don't think RFK's got enough pull to push narratives so much. I don't think, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at some alts. We'll go to Soy Boy first. I don't think Sol hasn't moved too much, to be honest. It's having a bit of a push here. Sol is pretty similar. It's been sideways for a while, and although I do like the asset and I still like the fact it's trending, I would just like Sol a little bit lower. I don't like where it's pushing from right here, right now. Again, this is all being a little bit choppy. I'm just not quite convinced yet. If you see this very faint line, this is Sol's trend, higher time frame trend, so that's coming in at 152. I'm not necessarily saying it's going back down there, but I would just like some sort of confirmation a little bit lower. Doge, let's go and have a look at Doge. Give us a shout if you've got any more assets. One thing I just wanted to point out on Doge, as the market obviously in general on memes gets a lot more active, is just the general fact that the order flow is going to get a lot better for you as well. And excuse me if I'm repeating myself, but order flow on Doge, really good. Couple of others to point out for you before you guys jump in with any others is we're looking at WIF on the Discord as well. Okay, I don't know if anyone's trading this. It's not certainly one I trade. You've got to be careful with it. Okay, you've got to be careful with it. It was hitting some supply. I've got no doubt that the long side of these trades is always going to be better. Absolutely no argument there. But again, if you were looking to hedge positions, okay, maybe want to have a look at as the order flow gets a little bit more active as well. I would certainly pay a bit of interest to the perps and also the BTC chart as well. Okay, so not the best. This did get pulled, but just try and gain confluence with them all. Another one that's been looking very good on the order flow as well is Pepe. Okay, really good. Certainly if you were positioned long from the monster move that Pepe has had over the last few weeks, this is absolutely brilliant. You've got a 3 tap at the top. Again, this is one we did look at this on the Discord the other day. You've had a 3 tap at the top, okay, and then whoever this entity is here trying to get in a I'll just call it 1-7. they've really capped price there, as we call it. They've really capped price as you're in high supply, and they've said, yep, you're not going any higher. So sometimes on alts, you get those really harsh wicks to grab all the liquidity, and then they just insta reverse. If you ever get the opportunity like this, where they just absolutely cap price on a double band spot supply, really good. Swaps in, how are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Yeah, really good on Pepe as well. And I believe the long side today looked pretty good as well, if anyone's just into day trading this. Because if you look at the confluence here, so absolutely mega bid on Perps. I'm not sure what the funding was like at this point in time on Pepe, but Perps absolutely mega bid. Really, these guys are absolutely just wanting to defend that area. As you get slight spot bid as well. Okay, so order block a little bit lower. Okay, so confluence of the order block a little bit lower on spot, and Perps are absolutely mega bid. I don't think we'll get much data from buy, but yeah, unfortunately not. What did Kraken look like? Okay, not much on that bid side. Qcoin, not much on that bid side, but that was interesting to see on the supply side from Qcoin as well, in confluence with Binance Spot. So really good. And if you're just day trading scalping at the minute, unfortunately, yeah, some of the coins are gonna be lagging. Okay, so Adder, Dot, you know, all the usual suspects. These new race car coins are just going to perform better, especially for your derivatives portfolio, if you're just looking to hedge a bit of positioning. All right, I think RNDR has looked pretty good as well. Okay, so really again spot. So this is always my favorite if you're seeing spot like this. RNDR really spot bid. If we do get any rotation down lower, okay, just look for this entity to either fill or defend price in this area, 9.8. What did Perps look like? No real edge on Perps, but yeah, if you're seeing a spot chart like this, really good. Nice aggregated depth there. What did volume look like on RNDR? No major edge, but just spot coming in at a time when it got lowest to those order blocks. The open interest was absolutely nuked as well. So yeah, moving up nicely. What else do we need to look at today? Please give us a shout if you need us to look at any. I think it was the gaming asset ILV Illuvium, or however you pronounce it. Just go find that one. Yeah, absolute beauty. Order books are really good as well. So it's a gaming asset, isn't it? So I'm not sure if they've got anything going on at the minute. Any big new projects. I can't say I've researched this this asset to say, but it's certainly been really spot bid. I know it did well the other year in the previous runs, but really spot bid. And the order flow, you know, I wouldn't necessarily short something like this when the order blocks are that far away. But this here is absolutely just risk reward on stuff like this is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And what you want to look for on stuff like this is not to give too much away, but I don't really believe in alpha decay, because some degenerates will still 2,000,000% X leverage this sort of thing, and then it'll come back down and stop them out at 1.5% loss, but they'll lose X amount of money. Basically, when you're seeing stuff like this, okay, so spot is really bid. You've got this order block here, yeah, 86 point, we'll call it 86.5, yeah. But you've got these at lower order blocks here at 84.5. When you're seeing this sort of thing, it doesn't always necessarily mean you're going to come down to this 84.5. Maybe the full market, as in the whole crypto market, takes a turn and gets really buoyant and starts to float up, and you know, maybe this entity down here doesn't get a fill or whatever. But if you're seeing the larger order block below the bid like this, and you know, it's just an example of what you can see happen, is always be aware that this is potentially going to go and fill. Okay, so maybe you fill a little bit at this point. You know, so I know some of you guys grid limit orders, don't you? And if you can do that in your exchanges, as in put one limit order here, maybe put a couple down here, and then your final one at 84.6, and then your risk is basically below this order block. Okay, keep it tight, and if you are, don't ever kind of move your stops and stuff. Sometimes on lower liquidity alts like this, these entities can either get filled and we take the lower liquidity and then go. So something to be aware of. Don't ever put, I won't say don't ever, you're all grown boys and girls, you can do what you want, but don't ever put your stop directly under these top levels. All right, just sometimes expect, especially, and what I'm trying to say is lower liquidity coins, sometimes they can take those order blocks and then they'll run up, so you'd be a bit you might get a bit pissed off with yourself if you put a stop loss on something like this and you get stopped out and it insta reverses up and starts running 30% to an all-time high, something stupid like that. So just be aware of that. All right, but yeah, a little tip for you there. What's Bitcoin doing? Right, so a bit of a wick there. What did we wick to on spot? I'm just going to zoom in and have a look. We wicked, okay, we didn't quite take those highs. 68.8 was that? What did we wick to on perps? Whereas perps could have wicked. This is the sort of thing I'd look for, to maybe get a little bit of a rotation down. Not saying it's going to happen. As I say, just repeating, I'm not particularly bearish. I just think technically and organically it would be better to come down and confirm this area. Perps didn't wick too high, 68.9ish. What was spot? 68, yeah, very similar. Basically, I was saying at the beginning of the video, what you can sometimes see on this kind of price action, especially at the beginning of the US session, is you'll get this kind of like little move up, and perps sometimes wicks a few $100 more than what spot does. If you're in a very volatile market, then it will do it $800 higher. If ever you see that, sometimes it can be a bit of a sign of reversal. But yeah, it looks all right now. We've had some boring price action, and I think coming towards the month end, I think we are in some volatility. So yeah, if the crypto gods could just confirm this zone for me and then run it up, that would be very, very much appreciated. But we'll see what we get. We're just wicking this weekly open at the minute. Nothing to see here, really, nothing to see. Few alts, as I say, real mixed bag in the market at the minute. There's a few alts performing well, and some are really lagging, aren't they? I don't know why, but I just want to go look at Cardano. I just want to laugh at it. I've fallen out of favour with this whole project and Charlie Boy himself, to be honest. I just think he's a bit of a bell end now. I hope he's not watching. I won't be watching this stream for traders, but he was taking the piss out of other assets, and I don't like that really. So I don't like Cardano anymore. Bring it lower, a lot lower. Same with, which is a shame because I do like the daily chart. So, in reality, you shouldn't give a shit what the asset is. You should just trade it, love it or hate it. But same with Algo. Didn't they guys do a full advertising campaign on just slagging off Solana and ETH and stuff? It was ridiculous. Grow up. Just try and get on with your life. Anyway. Rant over. What's some other assets we need to look at? Why is Arweave up? Do any of you guys trade this? Why is Arweave up 12%? I can't say I follow the narrative of some of these coins. Arweave 12% though. I don't know if that's genuine or not. It's certainly hitting some big supply here. I don't think that'll be genuine, to be honest. But we'll see. Not that I'm bothered trading it. Yeah, some coins are performing well. Another good chart from Dusk there as well. Risk on some of these alts, you do find this. The risk can be a little bit, I don't particularly like it. Like we just looked at ILV and the risk was really tight, probably 1% risk or something. 3% pushing it a little bit for my risk, to be honest. I think fillers looked quite good, but you can just see order blocks moving down again on an altcoin. Again, just rewind back when we looked at ILV, that was a really, really solid order block. I kind of don't like to see them move down to meet price. I want it to be solid and then move up to chase price up. So could be genuine here from stuff like Phil, but I would want to see them now dynamically move these bids up to chase price, you know, whoever this entity is down here, whether it's market makers or the exchange or a single entity wanting a fill down here at 5.5, I want these entities to go, oh shit, we need a fill, right, we best move up and dynamically chase price up. Something to keep an eye on. What else was I looking at? SUI, really big order block, but it is quite a chunk lower. So if we do get some real volatility and devastation, 8% lower. Now, not sure what kind of volume SUI does across markets, but it certainly doesn't. It's not bad, actually. I say not bad. It's not that big, is it? 7 million or so. So yeah, it could wick down. One to watch. Big order block down there on SUI, and it's just under the just under that 9.95 level, so that could be pretty nice. If anyone's did we look at WIF? We looked at WIF, didn't we? If anyone's a fan of XRP, are there any XRP fans left in the market? I don't know if there are. Haven't they been holding for about 100 years at this price level as well? I think it's been this price level for about 10 years. But the fact the project is still going after that long is quite good. But just something to bear in mind. $0.50 level to the downside, 0.55 level to the top side. Really stuck in a range. I'm sure it will perform well. You know, it'll have the usual little spike up, won't it? But we'll see. Nothing to see here. Only thing to comment on an XRP, which I saw earlier, is confluence of the BTC side as well. So okay, so XRP BTC. Really nice bid up to 3% away. So if you are looking for any reason, I don't know why you would, maybe you know something we don't, is it Larry's next ETF. So if you do get a nice 3% drop for whatever reason in the next 12-24 hours and you want a bit of XRP, it's the kind of confluence I'd look for. Spot USDT and XRP BTC, really bid. And XRP BTC has been bid for a while, okay? So could be BlackRock, VanEck, sales team getting some flows one way or the other. But yeah, certainly keep an eye out. Noticed Uni moving a little bit as well and catching a bit of bid earlier. I don't know if again it did have a massive run up, didn't it, a while back that I was shilling for months along with Rune, but yeah, it's cooling off a little bit. But while I talk about it, Rune still remains to be a good chart. If you're into just day trading, scalping, pretty liquid assets with pretty decent volume that move well from the demand and supply. Obviously that wasn't the best one there. Rune is an absolute beauty, or it can be generally. I know you've probably heard me say this before, but look at this. Absolutely brilliant. Some really good order flow as well, especially if you're just scalping. I'm not a scalper, but if you're just scalping and you watch the order blocks on Rune, really nice. There was another one I looked at on the Discord as well, but I can't remember what it was. And it had really good order flow. Can't remember which one it was now, where someone just basically capped the price, said, oh right, you're not going any higher, sold into it, and we just subsequently dropped about 10%. It was really nice. Recently getting a few more assets involved in the console, obviously. Bonk is in here. Don't know if anyone's into that. I'm sure again it's going to perform well. Perps at the minute, no major edge, so you might find a bit more edge in the order flow as time goes on and a lot more people enter the market. Okay, so that's generally what you're going to find. All right, guys. Right, BTC, what we're doing, give me your thoughts, what you're thinking here. Do you have any risk on and you're just looking to manage it in this area like I would be? Okay, I'd be looking to confirm this range area and get some continuation out. Or are you got nothing on and you're looking to get some risk on? Did you get a cheeky bid down here and you're scalping day trading and this is looking good for you? Or looking for a little bit lower? Do you know Honkler's in the chat? Welcome in, Honkler. Sir, You need to follow Hunkler actually on Twitter and the like, and in the socials. I think he's been, he must have been on holiday because he's not been posting much at the minute. Range for the rest of the week. Yeah, I agree. Scam everyone. Do you know the way I read that as you came in the chat then? I was about to insta-ban and kick you off. I just read TRDR scam everyone. I was like, who the fuck is this knobhead? Who is this bellends come in my chat and said TRDR scam everyone? Right, excuse my language. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I just don't think, I was saying earlier, if you've only just entered Hunkler, I just don't think we're ready to get a trend continuation yet out of this larger range. I just like to go and confirm some of this zone really for me. So yeah, supply a bit higher or range it a little bit lower, confirm this zone, then, you know, build this bid depth. If anyone's just joined and hadn't seen it before, build this bid depth. If we could achieve, and this is something to look for in here, if you get rotations down, which I would favour, again, not to repeat myself, your key areas at the minute on aggregated depth, okay, is a billion aggregated. At the minute, we're just tickling 500 million. So it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not what you wanna see for a really, really big push up, to be honest. Yeah, spot, exactly. Yeah, we've had a little bit of bid, haven't we? But not much. And I just don't like. I don't like the open interest here, if I'm absolutely honest. That does not suggest organic move up to then start to break these range highs here and get a breakout past all-time highs and go to your 80s, you know, whatever. It just doesn't, the recipe's not all there. I would be screaming about it if it did, to be honest. You know, as I mentioned earlier, volume up nice as these lows come in, but you want that open interest to organically flow with the volume, and you just see the way here. So if we, you know, I'm saying we haven't moved for a couple of days. If you're scalping this zone, you're pretty good, but you just see the way the open interest hasn't really moved. It's gathering in. It's gathering in. All those contracts of people vying for a position, and then I can just imagine some volatility, shake this open interest out. Larger players in the volume are quite happy, okay, so they don't really shift position. That kind of builds some volume bullish divergences. This is my ideal scenario I'm talking about. The ideal recipe, I would call it, okay. Keep the bullish volume divergences, get some volatility, and then yeah, exactly, confirm some bid. So build the bid as you come down, scam everyone, come down, confirm the bid as your top level enters here. So your resting order blocks, defend or fill, and we go. It's pretty easy actually, really, because I say that it's you guys that have got to execute for yourselves, really. But even if you do float up, this zone is still defended. I know it's a little bit of a recycled zone now, because we've already hit it, which is kind of why I don't think we get there. I still think we come down the next 12-24 hours, to be honest. I want to go and fill some of this on perps. That's all I'll say. Yeah, I was looking for perps to put in a nice high wick here. Take these highs. Which I don't know why I've got on. I haven't got them on. Can I get them? There we go. It's going to show me it from a lot further. There you go. Yeah, we didn't quite take them, if you can just see that. If anyone doesn't know what that is, just on a standard chart, high and low price, but then it obviously just depends on your zoom level. So yeah, 69k. We've not quite wicked them. Maybe you wick those. I would, again, I'm just repeating it, but I would look for something like that. And yeah, if you've just joined, no spot bid following up just yet at all. Generally, people just selling a little bit into it, even on perps there. It's minute ratios in the 0 to 1%, but you've got a tiny little bit of sells there coming into it. We'll see what we get. I think this kind of zone, again, that's why I kind of pulled that range earlier and drew the yellow box. Effectively for me here, I'm saying you haven't moved in 2 days, price action. So nothing to see here. If you want a little bit better percentage on your derivatives portfolio, go and find an altcoin, basically, isn't it? That's what you need to look for. Right, where are we up to? I don't think ETH will be doing much either. It's probably just pushing up as well, testing some zones a little bit higher. Let's go and have a look at ETH. Yeah, 0.5% up. ETH's not doing much either. Again, ETH diamonds. So yeah, pretty valid. I would say your risk just wants to be below here, but there's no major top level until you get to that 3.5 level on ETH. Perps similar. Okay, perps similar. And actually, they've moved the since we came down and took that liquidity. You can see here, just started to move the order blocks down a little bit. All right, so it's a case for me. I would, if you're not short from higher up or hedge the position from higher up, or long day trade from ETH here, if you're right in the middle here at the start of the US session, just chill. Just chill. You might get something else. I can't say I've really seen a short today. I don't know if you guys have seen anything. Apart from, what was that 12% coin that just moved up? That might be one to have a cheeky look at. But again, I don't know what this thing moves like. I'm really not familiar with this asset. And sometimes it doesn't matter. The order flow will just give you what you need. But really, that was nice, and that's exactly what I mean. So really, this is the sort of thing you want. Crikey, yeah, I didn't see that the other day. That's really nice. What percentage did you get from that? 8%. Thank you, crypto. If anyone caught that, that's brilliant. Maybe one to watch then, Arweave. Quite nice order flow on it. But you really want that sort of thing up here. And on Arweave, you can just see these levels a little bit higher. So, you know, if Bitcoin's going to wick a little bit higher, can an altcoin, a low liquidity altcoin like Arweave, do another 7% up? Yeah, of course it can. This might be enough for it. You've obviously got the BTC chart as well there. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if they got filled there. But Arweave BTC top level there as well. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I would watch that one, certainly. Let's see what volume's doing on lower time frames. Coming up, yeah, I'm not convinced by the open interest. We'll see. Let's go and have a look. Newbie question. It's not newbie question. We can answer anything. What were those green circles in the ETH perp chart? I think saw them on an ETH spot earlier as well. Okay, yeah, no, it's not newbie question at all. So you get them on BTC, just we've not had them for a while. Let me pull up a clean chart for you, sir. Or madam. I don't like to discriminate. Or whatever gender anyone wants to call themselves. Right, so they were on ETH. I'll show you on ETH, and then I'll show you quickly on BTC, and I'll give a quick explanation for you. So, you mean these, yeah? Okay, so yeah, these will appear on the perps chart. So I'm just on spot chart at the minute, but they will appear on the perps chart as well. So let me give you a quick run over of what's going on here. All right, so basically this is our, okay, I'm going to call it short or sell or offers, buy or bid or long. Okay, now that's brief, and what we'll say is, what these are alert overlays. So these come from the OBD alerts. Okay, so those particular ones you're seeing on the ETH chart at the minute are these. Okay, so ETH diamonds, yeah. What we're looking for, like mentioned earlier, you're looking for confluence of spot and perpetuals grouped, so at the same time in a certain price range, 1 to 2.5% price range, to hit these conditions at the same time. So a 70 ratio on spot, 40 ratio on perps, and it triggers this alert. Okay, so really, really good confluence between spot and perps. You'll get that triggered alert, and then what it does is, okay, so these alerts, you can pop them on your chart here, yeah, show on chart. If you don't want all the alerts on chart, you can either in here configure and just click off logs. Okay, so just take it off completely, or just move them onto the chart individually on there, show on chart. All right. Now, one thing about this is when you get them on, let me just, okay, so you can see that alert logs overlay. This will actually count as an indicator on your chart. Okay, so depending on your subscription, say you've got 10 indicators on and you want alert logs on, it might not show, so you might just need to tweak your setup a little bit to so that it shows. Yeah, so yeah, this one is, so they're ETH diamonds. Okay, so these were sells, so at the time of ETF approval, everyone's getting very excitable, but everyone in the TRDR socials was like, this is a nice hedge short, this. Wham. All right, so we were getting notified that basically, and I can show you on a lower time frame as well quickly, and then we will go to, so you can see here, let me scroll back to there. So you can see here, that's our 15-minute time frame, isn't it? Yeah, so a big push up. It was the spot chart that looked better, so I'm just going to show you that. Here, okay, so red circles, alert overlays, put on the chart. You'll then get that alert through to your Telegram. You can have it through to your Discord webhook, okay, or email as well. So for instance, majority of the alerts, like your alt alerts, even liquidations and stuff, I'll just have going to my own Telegram, and then we have a certain amount of them going through to the TRDR Discord webhook as well. But for certain alerts, like a BTC Diamond, that I'm like, right, if I'm away from desk, I need to know what's going on. And maybe I'm not looking at my Telegram, I have that on email as well, so emails through. So yeah, Confluence, spot, and perps selling. And basically what we can say is, you don't want, we always say you don't want to be an alert trader. Yeah, so you'll get an alert, and especially on altcoins, you just need to go and look at the chart. All right, look at the chart and have a look at what's going on. So say you're getting short signals here. Have you got bearish volume divergences and maybe funding's really high and your open interest really high? Yeah, then you get alerts and you see big order blocks like this defending price as you've got double band sells. That's your short. All right, so your risk on that short, for me, you know, like 2.5%, I would give it. I would hide above this top level. I'd watch price action maybe, and then just see what happens. You know, and even if you executed to the lows of this kind of range here, 5%. Okay, if you're an absolute warrior sniper, and you are enjoying the ETF volatility, 10% down to that wick, 7% down to that wick. All right, I don't know if anyone caught that, but that was basically a long signal. Okay, so just the opposite. It was telling you that perps and spot was bid, and we volleyed back up. All right, and you probably got big liquidations at these points as well. So that's what I was saying earlier. So price rises up if you see a confluence of big liquidations, okay, on ETH and BTC, either or, but they generally come in confluence, don't they? If you see big liquidations into this area, you've got selling. Have a look at the charts. Right, great. Do I have high funding? Have I got high open interest, as in a lot of people vying for a contract? Right, I'm quite willing to hedge a position here, and that away you go. Yeah. Similar in this zone as well. Difference here was that was an ETH diamond, a little bit early, but you did have that wall there. Okay, and then I don't know if you guys can see it, because I turned the transparency down on the alert. Actually, let me just turn that up. Can I turn it up? Because you can obviously just change these. So ETH group spot, and there you go. Yeah, so the spot market was massively selling into ETH at this time as well. So was this Monday, Tuesday, I believe it was. So again, for me personally, I thought, God, this is such a good hedge position. Whoever this entity is here with these order blocks, they either really want to fill, or they're just saying, right, you are not going any higher, you know. So yeah, really nice trade. Obviously ETH BTC being a little bit slow movers like they are, takes a little bit to grind down. If you're scalping it, great. Day trading it, you still get a nice few percent there. We get a little rise up, you get your final confirmation just in that level there, and you come down, and then extra confluence in these zones obviously is just the aggregated depth of book here, 1 to 10%. All right, so this white area is just showing you that you're in supply, the gray area is telling you that you're coming into demand. And then just quickly, BTC is very much the same. All right, now BTC's been a little bit less active, but again here these are BTC group spot. Okay, so spot markets, Bitstamp, Coinbase and Binance were all selling. They were all selling BTC at the same time, and then it gives you an alert overlay there. All right, let's go and look. Group spot. Okay, so spot were bidding 66 at the last point, rised up a little bit. Let's have a look. Price action's been a little bit slow lately, hasn't it? This was back the other week, okay, when we initially first pushed up from the lows of the range. A few of us did mention in the chat about these ones. This is why we're saying you need that confluence, yeah? It's not always a case that you get these alerts. So these were BTC Diamond alerts, selling alerts. It's not always the case that you have to take the trade, okay? You can do, by all means, and just put your risk in, your stop or whatever, but you have to accept the stop. But a few of us in the chat were saying, okay, we think we can push further here. Reason being why, at that point, there was no bearish divergences. We were coming from the lows of the range. Volume was rising up nicely. Open interest was just curling up. The selling here just looked a bit reactionary. All right, so just bear in mind, it's not always the case that you need to take it. Yeah. But yeah, same all the way. Again, I know it's been a little bit boring on BTC for certain people if you're not certainly not a range trader, but yeah, you do get some good ones, especially in kind of zones like this where you get the high, there's no particular supply there to say, right, okay, we're going to sell into this. You come down and then people just start to say, shit, this isn't going back up, is it? Right, we're going to sell into it. And then you get that kind of rotation. All right. And then the lows, obviously, this was from the other week. So just to show trading in public, if you're still on, the lows of BTC that were hit, where we were basically looking for that 56, 57 level. Okay, so we initially looked at this zone and we're getting BTC diamonds here. Okay, so this is our BTC diamond alert. They were firing here. But the bid depth, and this is kind of what I'm looking at now, yeah? So very similar to where we are now, as in the aggregated depth is kind of at that 500 million level. We're coming down, but you see how this looks actually better than where we are now, to be honest. But we came down, and then this entity, I don't know if they got filled at 59, but we just couldn't quite push up. We couldn't quite push up. We weren't quite ready. So at this point, I think I even jumped in the socials and did a YouTube short. I said, right, 56/57 is the zone. Look for a wick, and then we'll float back up. Subsequently, obviously, we've absolutely ripped. Looked really, really nice. So yeah, look for, and I think you had some bull divs there as well. I think you had the full recipe there, which we're just not quite seeing now. Yeah, so I hope that's explained it a little bit. If not, just jump in the socials. We can give some more examples and stuff. Or jump in the academy. There's a new academy course. Welcome to join in there, guys and girls, if anybody wants it. Right, so not convinced with Bitcoin here, if I'm absolutely honest. Bring it down. Repeat myself, aren't I? I'm trying to put that kind of aura on the price action, because I would like it lower. The market will give us whatever the fuck it wants, won't it? It'll do whatever it needs to do. But yeah, like I say, on Bitcoin, let's just go back to this quickly. Let's have a quick look at the old 4-hour chart. Yeah, I think all looks pretty constructive. I mean, higher time frame range, we can see here. This is your higher time frame range. That was your 56-57 bid that we've just looked at, BTC diamonds. We've pushed up. It looks like we're starting to form a trend, battling the weekly open, but we've just not quite got the bid. If we could just do this, and really scam people. And I say scam, it's not really a scam, it's just the market doing what it needs to do. It needs to go and find a bid, yeah? If we've not got enough bid to push price up, it's price action, it's going to have to go and find it, all right? But I think that'd be really nice. Come back on trend, confirm this zone, and then to infinity and beyond. That would be my favoured Bitcoin move, and I think that would line up with ETH down in that 3,500 level as well. Not bearish at all, just not convinced right here, right now. Let's just go to a 1 hour chart quickly. So yeah, nice push up here, but you've really not moved that much, to be honest. Right, drop us any more questions if you've got them, or if I've missed an alt that you really need to look at. I can't say there's that many out there, apart from the ones we've kind of looked at already, to be honest. ILV looks quite good. Maybe just wait for it to take that liquidity a little bit lower. RNDR looks good, a bit lower. SUI looks good, but a little bit lower, please. And you know, when you kind of build that story and that confluence, maybe that's kind of what we need. You know, you build that story and narrative of, okay, so there's a lot of alts out there with some order blocks a little bit lower, and Bitcoin's got order blocks a bit lower, and ETH has, and open interest looks a little bit high here. You know, if you look at the 1 hour, it's not too bad. Funding 0.01, as we can see, opening, it's not too bad, but I would like some of this. I would like a little bit of a wipeout. This hour open interest at the bottom, and then I might want to get involved with a bit more risk across other markets as well. And I'd be more convinced of a move up from right here, right now. And as we can see, aggregated across, this isn't all exchanges, but certain amount of exchanges, just not quite in that demand zone at the minute. All right, guys, so look, we'll call it a day there. I'll be around in the socials if anyone needs us. What I'm going to do is I'll timestamp this YouTube, so that if anyone wants to just look back at what we've covered, I will timestamp it and post that straight away. If it's been beneficial to any of you, please just share it. I think more people need to see the data that we are seeing in here, to be honest. I don't believe in alpha decay, as in I think everyone should see this data. I won't worry about alpha decay from your side either, because people still 100x leverage on certain exchanges and blow themselves up in 1% moves, so don't worry about it. All right, so yeah, give us a share if it's been helpful to everyone, and yeah, go check out the academy, new academy, if it's anything you think you'd be interested in. And if you are brand new, just go and grab a trial at the very least, because it's free. All right, guys, so I hope you have a great week. I'll be around in the socials, and we'll speak soon. Cheers.